Head swaps later in the video and dang, look at that! She looks good in that suit! What's up guys, and now it's time for the final MCU figure in this new Widow movie wave, and it's Yelena Belova. But it's not the last Widow movie figure I have. The White Widow with stand is also now in my possession, so that review should be coming up next, unless I find something else first, which will be a semi-surprise if I do. And of course, don't forget the other Widow movie figures that will definitely be coming out with the movie, whenever that is, because it got delayed. But in the meantime, at least you have this review, and also the Taskmaster, Red Guardian, and Black Widow reviews if you haven't seen those already. But you know what? Let's turn that frown upside down and take a closer look at Natasha Romanoff's sister. Oh, and just for a fun little side note, I actually got Taskmaster here into a really solid neck lock by Widow, and check it out. She doesn't even wiggle or anything. I mean, just wow. She really got him good. Sure did. Starting with the front of the box, there's nothing really new except for the name that's on the front of the box. Everything else is the same. Here's one side with that awesome cel-shaded artwork, which is the same on the other side, which is also the same on the back. Now this isn't quite my favorite artwork of the bunch because it doesn't quite look like her, but it's still good. I still like the art style. There's the wording if you want to read that, and the rest of the figures. And there she is, guys, Yelena Belova, sporting the Infinity War vest. Now I am quite interested to see what the reasoning behind this vest is. I do have a theory, which I'll talk about later in the video, but first, taking a closer look at the face sculpt. It is nicely sculpted and very well painted, but overall looking like Florence Pugh, the actress that plays Yelena, I don't think it quite looks like her. Looking at her next to the picture, I think they probably got her right from the eyes, you know, from the little nose up, but from the nose down, I don't think it looks quite right. So I guess you would put this at about 50%, but either way, the sculpt is great though. I do like it. Very well done, just not quite accurate to the actress. And mine has a little weird glue strip that goes across the top there. It looks kind of like a headband. You can see it kind of shine a little bit. It's very thin, kind of weird, but whatever. And moving to the back, the neck just looks horrendous. Just look at that. I mean, the hair at least looks really good. It actually looks really good. Kind of like the Princess Leia style buns, as you can see right there. Very well sculpted, very well detailed, especially these braids. Just check that out. It looks really awesome. They added highlights as well to give it some contrast and definition and depth, but the neck is just, oh, I mean, when you start articulating it, it just looks terrible. Well, let's go and pop the head off so we can see why it looks so bad there. Popping it off, you can see it uses the dog bone joint, just like in what's his face, Red Guardian, except it's just, I don't know what it is. They just really didn't make it look good, because if you look here, we'll put the head back on. Alright, here's Hellboy here. I'm just kidding, it's Red Guardian, but it is the same actor that played Hellboy. But anyways, look at that. He also has that dog bone joint, as I showed you, and I'll show you again in case you forgot. See, dog bone joint. Pop that head back on, but he also has the dog bone joint, and look at that. Look at how the back of his neck and his hairline comes down, and it covers up that joint. Even when you articulate it, you barely start to see it, but it looks nice. And then when you look at Florence Pugh's figure right here, aka Yelena Belova, it's just, why did they not extend that down further? It's like they just cut it short. I mean, the hairline's, I'm sure the hairline comes lower than that, but they didn't do it. And at first I thought like maybe there's like some benefit to using this dog bone joint for her, but there really isn't, because look at how far she articulates up. Not that much, not that far down. She has some side to side, but I can give that up to make it look better. And you know, it's just, there's really no benefit to having this dog bone joint, and it just looks awful. So I'm really disappointed in Hasbro for choosing that. It's just, why? But on the bright side, her vest looks fantastic. Definitely a lot better than that dog bone joint on her neck. Got a little bit of light paint right there. It's some of the white's showing through, but it's just my particular one. I'm sure the other ones look much better. Now I really like how it's form-fitting to her body. It's just, it looks so much better than the Infinity War one, which I was showing a little bit. It goes great all the way on the side. There's a little bit of white on the very edges. I guess it's hard for the paint to stick, but it's not too bad because that's on the, you know, sides that you don't see. And the back looks great as well. Got a little bit of light paint spot and some scrapes right there, probably from being in the parts bin, but aside from that, it looks really good. And I like the color as well. It goes all the way down, as you can see, drop belt a little bit. So yeah, great job on the vest. Ooh, look at the little lines right there. And her single torso joint has great articulation, great side to side, quite a bit right there, and it goes pretty decently back and forward as well, and also spins in a circle. And the paint goes all the way up the joint, and you can barely, actually you can't see any of the mechanics there. And here it goes all the way up as well. You can only see the mechanics if you look really at a different angle, so that's also great. Same for this side as well. And the back also, you can kind of see the mechanics, but it's not too bad, and at least the paint goes up. What I really like is, you see how it had this little tapered curve right there? When you put the back, just check that out. Boom. It's such a perfect fit. It just look at that, and it has a perfectly nice seam when you line it just right. That seam looks so nice. I don't know, I'm a perfectionist, and I just really like how that looks. It's so clean. And for some comparisons, we'll go and put her right next to the Infinity War Black Widow. I went ahead and put her back in her Infinity War loadout, and as you can see, it just looks so much better. Look how much more form-fitting that is. This is just a blob, mainly because this thing is a separate piece, you know, so it doesn't form fit. I guess it's great because they made it nice. You could take it off, you know, pop it off right here, and then kind of turn her into the end game version, pop the other head on. But either way, it's just, I don't really like how that looks. That looks so much better. The details are pretty much the same. The top portion's a little different. She got a painted zipper and just, you know, minor differences, but overall it just looks so much better on Yelena. It's just definitely a major improvement. I'm glad they form fitted, so that's definitely a major win. She's missing the little backpack there, but of course that's Widow's backpack. You can't have Widow's backpack. And I'll be doing some head swapping later with these bodies so you can see what is possible. And moving into the arms, I love the white plastic on it. It is just, wow, the camera can't even focus on it. It is just so pure white and clean. Wow, see it's so clean, the camera is like, where's the definition? I can't focus point it. But anyways, yeah, it looks, let me put my hand there, that should be easier. It just looks so good, and I love, it's just, usually, you know, a lot of toy companies avoid white because white gets dirty easily, especially, you know, during assembly and stuff, but whew, they did a good job keeping this looking clean, I tell you what. And she has some well sculpted stingers here as well. Not Widow stingers, but definitely stingers. And they actually come off just like on Widow's. Once you pop the hand off, you can slide this off here and it's squishy. And as you can see, there's actually a proper way to put it on. You see there's a little taper. Let me do that there, maybe that'll help. There's a little taper there. If you put it on the wrong way, it tells you real fast that you got it wrong. And then you put it the right way and whoop, in it goes. And for articulation, her shoulder goes pretty decently up, no chafing or scraping anywhere, which is great. Her arm rotates in a circle, and it has very minor clicking compared to the other figures, as I said, so it's a lot better, so you can actually hold it in a position that you want, and it won't just suddenly go pop into a position that you don't want. And her elbow, she has a single jointed elbow with a deep cut that goes well past 90, as you can see, and it doesn't click quite as much. There's one or two clicks here and there, but it's much smoother than the others. Has a little flappy elbow pad here, which is like, it's not too bad, I guess. It's just, I don't know, part of the costume. And her hand spins in a circle and goes backwards and forwards. And of course her pistol hand goes upwards and that way. And moving into legs, I love the silver on her belt there with the Widow symbol, and then you got these little holsters here. You got the knives here, which is, it has a nice touch. It has a window symbol right there, as well as some little scratchy little thingamajig designs there, and the knives, and then the little straps on her legs look great as well, gray, and it goes all the way on the inside on both sides. And her holster here is the same as Widow's, looks pretty nice. And overall, the white, just look at how clean that is, just all the way down. Lots of nice details that look fantastic. I love it. Just it's like a super futuristic version of a stormtrooper, even though that's weird because stormtroopers are supposed to look futuristic, but honestly they're kind of like rustic, kind of utilitarian stormtrooper futuristic. I don't know, this just looks really just I really can't get over how white and clean that is. Just wow. Even the bottom of the feet look great as well. Now, one thing I don't like though is that these straps here are actually glued right to her legs. They kind of went back in time and did the Infinity War where they glued it to the legs, and the new one, it's like I like this one so much because it's not glued on. It just moves up and down. So you have great just range of movement. You can spin her leg completely around. This is the new Widow, by the way. But this one is just like, because of the way they did that, you can't spin it around. It just, you know, gets stuck, as you can see. And then when you move it up, it kind of puts some strain on it, as you can see right there. It's not too much, but it's still, you know, I mean, just the sculpt doesn't allow it to really strain too much. But I don't like that because, especially this, you can't go all the way around, so it kind of limits how you can pose her. But I guess overall, when you go up, it moves up as well, so it's not too bad, I guess, you know, it moves up. So, but either way, it's just, I don't like that design, but maybe they did it so they can kind of keep the form-fitting factor. But either way, it's just, I guess it's not too bad because it doesn't stress very. Ooh, yeah, that's not good. Yeah, don't do that. Maybe do both at the same time. But yeah, just But anyways, as you see, the articulation, the legs go that far forward, not very far back at all. I guess only time will tell if that's a good or bad design. And of course, her splits go that far with her belt going up. And as for the thigh swivel here, we'll go and use this line right here. Let me line that up with the top, so that'll be the kind of the marker point. So going to the side to where it's just, let's see how far it'll go. Ooh, okay, that's starting to look bad, and I'm starting to feel the tension. So yeah, you can see the lines like right there, and it moved that much, so not too much. And going the other direction, well, it just, ooh, that strains real fast. Ooh, that's not good. Not very much at all. You can see how the lines right there, and it moved that much. So yeah, very limited thigh swivel range. But her double jointed knee has a fairly long cutout there, so it gives her very great range. It goes all the way back. Look at that. She can kick her own booty. And her foot goes that far forward, it gets stuck because of the sculpt, but it goes very far back, like super far back, and then it swivels. That's Russian for swivels. No, it's not. Alright, now let's get into some head swaps. Now the great news is that both the Infinity War Legends and the new movie Widow Legends have the exact same ball head joint as Yelena Belova's. So let's go and put Yelena's head on some different suits. Here she is on the Infinity War suit, and as you can see, it doesn't look that great. Her head is definitely just really low, and it just looks like her head's just crunched and all that stuff. She's got no neck, and the vest is just popping out. You can really appreciate the form-fitting factor of the new body right here with the vest compared to this, because this just looks pretty awful, honestly. And then there's that side way. Actually, the side view doesn't look quite so bad. And then there's the back view, so with Widow's thing, but nobody gets the Widow backpack except Widow. There's the other side. So yeah, let's see what she looks like with the vest off. Okay, you know what? Definitely looks a lot better in my opinion, because it's just the body looks a lot more slim and better. It's not this weird bulky. This is just a really bad piece, but it allows you to do that since it's a separate piece, so it's pretty awesome looking. There's this side view that looks better as well, and then actually move the arm out of the way so you can see the side view better. And then there's the back view, and actually this is actually a pretty nice alternative to the Yelena body if you want to give her a Black Widow suit. Black Widow suit. And here she is on the new Widow body, and wow, she looks good, like really, really good. Like, she's stunning in this suit. It's just, this is definitely, let's just look at that. Look at the side view as well. Move the arm out of the way. It looks just so great. You don't realize how great this Widow suit is until you start putting other heads on there, and you realize that it just makes everything look good. Even the back of her head looks great. I'll show you a close up in a sec. And just look at that. Wow. I think I might have to get a second new Widow body just so I can put Yelena's head on it. Even if she doesn't wear this in the suit in the movie, it still looks great. The only issue is like the skin tone for her face is a little bit light compared to the Widow skin down here, but it's passable. And look at the neck sculpt. Look at how much better that looks. Let me just zoom right in there. Look at that. Get that out of the way. It's just, it looks still a little funny, but it looks so much better than the one that they had before that's on her actual body. I don't know what it is. I mean, it seems like it's still a little high cut, but it just looks so much better. Maybe the awesomeness of the suit just you know, nullifies the ugly neck on the back, but man, just look at that. This is a great suit. Yeah, I think I might need to get a second one of these. Alright, now let's go and switch gears and put some Widow heads on Yelena's body. First off, here's the Infinity War Widow head on her body, and she looks kind of weird. I think the neck's a little bit long. I don't know. What do you guys think? There's a side view of that, and then the back view. The blonde hair is kind of fitting. At least it hides the joint. That's one plus of the hair. There's that side there, and yeah, I'm not, I mean, it's an alternative, but I don't think it's my favorite. And here she is with the Endgame head from the Hawkeye 2-pack, and this actually looks really good. I actually am really digging this. I like the long hair that kind of curves around, and the head, once again, the hair hides the joint, which is amazing. God, it's such an awful joint. There's the side view, and it does show the joint a little bit here, but for the most part, it's not that bad, actually. You know, this side just completely covers it. But overall, this is definitely, here's a closer look at her head there. This is definitely a great alternative. I'm actually liking this a lot. And here she is with the new Widow head, and this one actually looks really good as well. I'm kind of tossed. I still like the Endgame look. I like the hair for the Endgame, but this actually looks, oh, I just hit my elbow. This actually looks really good. I mean, just look all the way around. The hair covers that ugly joint completely, and it's actually a really great looking head. Here's a closer look here, and as you can see, the skin tone actually is pretty much a close enough match. I mean, the Endgame one, as you saw, I forgot to say, but the skin tone is like totally off from the neck. But yeah, this one looks a lot better, and it covers the joint, and this is actually a great alternative. So like, if you can't afford the White Widow, because I mean, she is $30, you know, for that pack, you know, and all that stuff, you can hold off, save up money, and if you get, you know, Yelena and the Widow instead, you can just kind of swap heads and kind of have a White Widow, and she's got the, you know, she's got the little vest too. Who knows, this might be what she looks like at the end of the movie. We'll never know. And we might never know if the movie never comes out. Yeah. But anyways, that's it for head swaps, so let's go and take a look at her accessories. Now, the first thing she comes with is a Crimson Dynamo body that comes in 4 different pieces. You got the shoulder pieces right here, and then the back piece that goes on the back. Now, I might be building this Crimson Dynamo. I'm not sure yet. All depends on how it goes in finding the other figures, when I should have bought them in the first place. But anyways, she comes with 2 additional hands, which are actually the same as the hands that she has now. It's just so that you can have 2 fists or 2 pistol hands. And then she comes with 2 pistols, which are the exact same pistols as Widow's, and yeah, that's pretty much it. They're, you know, nicely detailed overall and look like bursts of thunders, and yeah, that's pretty much all she comes with. And of course, one of her pistols slides right into her holster right here, but she only has 1 holster, which means the other pistol must be held in her hand, unless you want to throw it into the, you know, accessory bin and make it disappear. So yeah, kind of wish she had 2 holsters, but I guess the knife holster, actually, you know what, they could have put a second holster on top of the knife. I mean, it's totally doable, but oh well, that's what you get. And now for some comparisons. Here she is next to the other Wave 1 Widow movie legends. Here she is next to the other Marvel Legend Widows, as well as the SH Figuarts Endgame version. Here she is next to a few more Marvel Legends. And finally, here she is next to some Stormtroopers and Ghost. Well guys, overall the body sculpt is great, and I love the form-fitting vest, but the head though has some questionable design choices. But anyways, as for my theory on her suit, I have a feeling that this is a spare suit that Melina, played by Rachel Weisz, gives to Yelena. I say that because it looks a bit baggy on her, as you see in the trailers, and Rachel Weisz is 5'6" in real life, while Florence Pugh, aka Yelena, is 5'4", hence the bagginess. Now I'm thinking that Yelena might complain of the bagginess in the movie, which prompts Widow to lend Yelena her vest. And Scarlett Johansson is 5'3" in real life, so a vest from her would naturally tighten up that bagginess. Now, in typical Marvel heartstring pulling fashion, I'm thinking Yelena dies at the end of the movie and gives Widow her vest back as she dies. And thus, Widow wears the vest in Infinity War as a homage to Yelena. Now, this is just my theory, but the only way we'll find out is by watching the movie, whenever that comes out. But anywho doodles, the White Widow review should be next unless something else happens, at which point the White Widow review will be next. But until then, thanks for watching, and I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.